So I literally had to take last week off. I had known like a week or so before. I think I even got a video out kind of later than it was supposed to. But I knew I had to take that week off because I had a lot of, school was wrapping up. I still have school this week, but we're not really doing anything. But last week I had a lot of like projects and tests, midterm stuff like that. And then I had my basketball sectional was on Friday, so I'd practice until like 6 o'clock every night. So it was just a terrible week. That stuff is kind of past. But in that week, just about everything that could have happened in NASCAR happened, and we got to talk about it all in this episode. So I want to try and keep it brief, but still get my points and opinions out here. But you guys probably already know it. I just wanted to put my opinion on all of it. So let's get right into it.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be talking about everything that's been going on in NASCAR really over the past week. I don't know, whichever one seems to be the biggest headline is the one we'll go with, but for now we're just going to go ahead and act. I don't really know the title, so we'll see how it goes. But anyways, if you guys do enjoy, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and comment down below you guys' thoughts. Again, I apologize for it being late. It was just a busy week. We also did not get a Phoenix recap because I was not home for the entire race. I tried watching on Fox Sports Go. It didn't work out too well for me. I was just kind of in an area where there wasn't that good of service. And I figured by the time I did get home, there was a couple laps left. But obviously I can't really recap the race based on the end. But Logano obviously won that race. So I'll briefly touch on it, and I'll go ahead and talk about the point standings. Actually, I think we'll start out with that. So like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment down below your thoughts, and let's get right into it.
What we do here is go back.
I'm going to just go over the top 5 and some other storylines. From what I understand, Chase Elliott seemed to have the fastest car throughout the weekend and somewhat the race, at least a really fast car. He ended up finishing 7th. He just had some issues that he couldn't really help. I think he had a loose wheel maybe, which if we're talking about lug nuts, might not be a problem next year. But Joey Logano, he finished 1st, and from what I understand, it was a very similar situation to that of Las Vegas, where he never really had the dominant car, but always seemed to be in and out of the top 5 and ended up being in the right place at the right time. Harvick 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd, Larson 4th, and Clint Bowyer 5th. Now, January 20th, of course, showed me this. He is an Alex Bowman super fan. Anything that happens to Alex Bowman, I know because it's Chenry. He's going to tell me. But from what I saw, it looked like Alex Bowman actually saved Joey Logano and gave him the win. Not gave him the win, but kind of, gave him a little help in the win. A lot of people are like, what? What are you talking about? Alex Bowman finished outside the top 10. But on one of the restarts, he checked up. If you guys remember back to Talladega, Bowman got shit on for a late block that ended up in his demise, which I think he was justified and, being kind of criticized for it. But, I mean, you see, it's not just him, and there's a lot of people that do that. But Logano threw a late block. If not for Bowman checking up, and he just went through Logano would have gone left right into the inside wall and would have ended his day. And, Kevin Harvick could be the guy we're probably talking about winning today, or yesterday. And that is not the case. Bowman let off, and it kind of saved him. So I just wanted to point that out. Everybody hates on Bowman, but Logano did the same thing. It just didn't cause a wreck. But moving on to other stuff here, I heard Tyler Reddick had a really great day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I like seeing Kurt Busch. I like seeing him in the top 10, but I like seeing Clint Bowyer and Kyle Larson good top 5s here. Kyle Larson, of course, has been just kind of silent. Hasn't really been that great, so a top 4 is great for him. But also, from what I understand, Hendrick, again, like I said, I'm purely basing this off of what Chenry told me. Hendrick seemed to kind of fall from grace. They weren't terrible. Obviously, Chase Elliott had one of the fastest cars all day, but that's kind of a customary. But the other Hendrick programs were kind of like a mirror of last year, and I knew that there was going to be some tracks where they didn't get it right, like they have at Las Vegas and Auto Club. I knew there were going to be tracks that they didn't improve much on. It looks like Phoenix, which unfortunately is a championship race, is going to be one of those races. So from what I understand, Bowman seemed to have a somewhat fast car, a top 10 car. but maybe something broke on it. He ended up 14th. But it sounds like Jimmy Johnson and William Byron. Again, I'm getting this from Chinnery, so if you have a problem, add them on Twitter or something like that. Byron and Johnson seem to have kind of slower cars who are able to work their way through strategy or, maybe a restart or something, it seems like, and we're able to get decent finishes. But, yeah, Hendrick, not as good as they have, been throughout the gates, and you knew this was going to happen at least one track. Hopefully they turn around Atlanta. They were kind of iffy at last year. If they can, improve at Atlanta, get a win, have a good day, then it's looking better and better for him. Like I said, I'm still not convinced on, Hendrick being back and all. Auto Club was a good, boost after Las Vegas, but I'm going to have to see, a little more consistency from these guys because they seem to be, like with Chase Elliott, he should have been a top 5, top 3 finish, but it seems like he ran into a lot of problems. So I need still need some consistency. 4 races is really a very small sample size. It's going to take until the summer really for me to get my opinion on that. But that's really all I want to talk about, at least I guess veterans on the race. Very quickly, I want to kind of go through my rookie report. I'm not going to put their finishes on the screen like I usually do, but great day for Cole Custer. I like seeing a great day from him because I've been negative on him here early, but he had a terrible Las Vegas. He has improved. He improved at Auto Club. I think he's around the top 20 most of the day. And then this week at Phoenix, he was in the top 15 most of the day and actually finished 9th place. So great day by him. And hopefully there's more days like this to come, and maybe even better finishes. He obviously has the equipment behind him. It's going to take time. You can't expect him to. I'm not like when I said what I said about him. I'm sure I put a disclaimer saying that it's so early. It's one race. Maybe just not good at that track, but it's so early. A lot of things can happen. He's a rookie. You're going to see rookie mistakes. You're going to see inconsistencies. So don't worry about too much. I do just remember saying that he did take a while to develop in the Xfinity Series, so it might be the same case for the Cup Series. But hopefully he proves me wrong on that. Tyler Reddick, though, he's somebody who has taken no time to develop in the Cup Series, as he was a top 5 car at multiple points throughout the race. And I believe he was set for at least a top 10 finish, and I believe he got into an accident, which is very unfortunate. Not what you like to see from RCR team. That is not. I'm sure they're financially okay, but you got to think that's got to not be good. Not finishing 33rd when you had a 5th place car. So hopefully that doesn't really hurt his performance in the future. But a great day from Tyler Reddick, and ironically, I do remember hearing that he did not like this track. So I bet he likes it now, and hopefully he has another top 10 car. He has easily been the most impressive of the rookies. Moving on through the rookies, though, John Hunter Nemechek. I'm not sure where John Hunter Nemechek finished. Let me check real quick. Sorry. This didn't finish very good, it looks like. Or I could just be blind. That too. I don't know where he finished. Wherever he finished, though, he drives 36. He starts at 38. I'm looking for 36. He finished 25th, just behind Christopher Bell. But John Hunter Nemechek, he is outperforming the shit out of that equipment compared to Matt Tifft. But somebody who's not outperforming the shit out of the equipment is Christopher Bell. He has been leaps and bounds behind that of Cole Custer and Tyler Reddick, and has been on par, if not worse, than John Hunter Nemechek this year. So he needs to turn it around. But we got other shit to talk about, so I'm just going to go ahead and end this segment. Let me know what you think about the rookies so far this year. All right, so next up we have William Byron. Hit the wall in next-gen testing. From what it sounds, it probably nothing big. It sounded like it was a scrape, but it did cause them to end the testing early. I never was. I remember when I first said this, William Byron is one of the, if not the least experienced driver in the field, and we're going to have him test the car. It never really made sense for me from the get-go, and I believe that really played a role in it. Now, hopefully he learns from this. From what I understand, it was out of his control. He When they loosened up the car, it seemed too loose for him to handle, so maybe it was out of his control. But I think they need to go in a different direction with what they're doing here. I guess at least Austin Dillon had 7 years in the Cup Series, but Eric Jones does not seem like the guy who would strike me as giving a lot of great feedback, along with William Byron. Joey Logano, I liked his feedback, but I think they need to get a guy like Kurt Busch. Don't mean any offense by saying this, but Ryan Newman, I mean that in the best way possible, and Matthew Benedetto. I think those are 3 drivers that will get you great feedback, and don't pick Kyle Busch, though, because he'll just say, yeah, I kind of like my cars like this, so I'm going to tell him. It's like he's just going to kind of rig it for himself, if you will. So, but I would go ahead and say, those 3 drivers, those are 3 drivers that maybe Martin Truex Jr. as well, that will give you good feedback. They've been in NASCAR for a while. They know what they want out of the car and what's in the best interest for the sport. So I would go in that direction. I don't think young drivers are really the way to go with this. I think William Byron has kind of proved that. No offense to you William Byron fans, but I just didn't think from the get-go that this was really a great idea, just considering his inexperience. But I don't know, maybe he gave a lot of great feedback. I could be wrong. I would also like to point out for a second that NASCAR's dead. I mean, they only beat the NBA, which is a company that is considered to be one day possibly the company that takes down the NFL if it gains in popularity. But that's kind of presumptuous. But anyways, NASCAR's dying, even though it beat it by over 2 million viewers. But I don't know. I'll get off my soapbox. I just wanted to add that. Everybody knows this. I just wanted to point that out, that apparently the NBA is, there's people out there that do legitimately think the NBA one day can take down the NFL, but NASCAR is beating it. So just tell me how that works. All right, so Tony Stewart is going to be driving an unnumbered Xfinity car for Stewart-Haas Racing at the Indianapolis road course. I think Tony Stewart, I never thought of him as a road course ringer, but I guess that's what he's trying to be now. So, yeah, Smoke is back. He will be racing in that race. I guess he'd probably take the 00. Is there a 14 taken? I mean, maybe he'll try and take back the 14, but it hasn't been named yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But Tony Stewart, he's coming back, and if I'm not sure how he's going to do. If I had to say now, I don't think he'll be the fastest car out there. I don't think he'll win it, but I mean, I'm not going to say he's not. It's Tony Stewart, so you can't really bet against him. But I want to make a video on the Xfinity Series here soon. But it's another kind of veteran there to test these young drivers, which have actually exceeded my expectations for this year. So, yeah, that's really all I got on that talk. The Smoke's back. Also, kind of a small bit of news here. Jimmy Johnson will be tested in IndyCar. We knew he had some interest in it, but he will be tested in IndyCar. So, yeah, there's that. Maybe he becomes an IndyCar driver now, which more power to him. Also, you guys remember that Drunken Brian France, who made that controversial tweet that sparked the Brad Keselowski video? He got sued by Brian France. It's like he's just not self-aware. He doesn't know what's wrong with him. I'm sure he's just doing it for money, but can we get a rip in the chat for Drunken Brian France? I mean, man's a legend, but yeah, it's like Brian France just is not self-aware, and he's just, or maybe he's just so self-aware to the point where he doesn't want to, I don't know, man. Man's messed up in the head, let me tell you that much. We got some big silly season stuff regarding Penske Motorsports. Or is it Penske? It's Penske Racing. I don't know why I said Motorsports. I'm sorry. But first off, we'll start with the good news first, I guess, for Penske fans. Ryan Blaney has signed a multi-year extension with Penske. Apparently, he's been having these talks since the end of the offseason, which we'll get into here in a moment. As for my thoughts on Ryan Blaney staying, based on the start of the season he has had, it's been a sad start to the season as a Blaney somewhat fan. I got his car, I'm basically a fan now. I like him just as much as I like Chase, I would say. Maybe just a little bit less. I don't know, because he's not a Chevy driver. But anyways, moving on, that's not the point. But my thoughts is this is the best place, and I think he felt the same thing as he said he didn't even think about talking to any other teams. This is the best place for Ryan Blaney in his career. These are probably the best, definitely, top tier equipment. Why would he want to go anywhere else if there is anywhere else to really go to? I guess Hendrick has an open spot, but it looks like Brad, more and more, it looks like Brad's going to go there. So also, I just realized I don't have a hat on, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, but I swear on God I have ADD. But anyways, as I was saying, so I doubt Hendrick was really thinking about him as a top tier candidate, but he's in the best place he can be right now, and there's no reason for him to assuming Penske was down for it, which obviously he was. There was no reason for him to leave. So obviously he wants to get this talk started as soon as possible so he can just focus on racing, and that is what he's done. He's got a multi-year deal. Great start, great kind of audition, I guess you could say, at the start of the season, finishing second in the Daytona 500 and almost gathering. I mean, he's almost had 3 wins. I mean, he almost won Daytona, he almost won Las Vegas, and he almost won Auto Club. Or at least he didn't almost win Auto Club, but he was very close to winning. He had a fast car that could win the race. Just Alex Bowman's was faster, and he obviously had the tire issue, so that put him out. But still, he almost had 2 second-place finishes, and then he was right there to win the Daytona 500, and he was right there, had the Las Vegas at least first or second place in the bag. So, and he was in the points lead until his unfortunate death. That's not a good joke, but he just did not. Death points-wise is basically what I meant. Where I don't think he got any points because of an early wreck. So, unfortunate for him, but luckily he's safe. He can breathe. He doesn't have to worry about all this off-season shit, so he can go back to racing. But this has huge implications for Brad Keselowski, as Brad Keselowski has indicated that he has not started the talks with Penske. Now, how does this make sense? A young guy who is on his first contract with the team is getting priority over Brad Keselowski, a champion, a consistent 2 to 3 wins a year, more wins than Ryan Blaney has in his entire career a year. How is he getting priority over Brad Keselowski, who's been with the team for what, almost a decade? I mean, it's been a very long time. So how is he getting priority over Brad Keselowski? And I don't know if Brad Keselowski has made it very clear that he's not coming back, if for whatever reason, Penske thinks there's somebody better, but I don't know. But Brad Keselowski, I think he's going to Hendrick. I was kind of skeptical in my Brad Keselowski video, but Brad Keselowski is not even talking to, I mean, maybe he just said it, but according to Brad Keselowski, he's not even talking to Penske about it. And he said, to kind of further go into that interview, he said that he's not searching for teams, but if they want to come and talk, he's not going to stop them. So obviously Hendrick's probably knocking on his door right now after that. So, wow. I mean, I already knew this days ago, but wow. Brad Keselowski really might be replacing Jimmy Johnson to drive the 48 car. I think might have passed the 50-50 mark here. I think it might be a 60-40 to a 65-35. It's kind of weird. It's going to be weird seeing that. So, obviously, there's a lot of time left. Nothing has been announced. Nothing will be announced for a long time. So, don't really have to worry about that. But it's very interesting. This silly season we knew was going to be great, but one certainty that thought I knew, was that Brad Keselowski was staying at Penske. But if you look at it, he got probably the worst crew chief of the 3. No offense to Jeremy Billings, he's a great crew chief, but he is not as decorated as his peers. And he's gotten the short end of the stick once, and it looks like once again he's gotten the short end of the stick here. So we're going to have to see how this develops throughout the season. It is somewhat a perfect storm for him to just jump ship to Hendrick. So again, we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. That is all I got for today. I guess there was actually some news about Ryan Newman. He'll be appearing on the Today Show. He also visited at Phoenix, so it looks like, I'm not trying to put a timeline on it, but, he seems to be, getting back to normal, so maybe maybe sometime in the future he will be returning. But again, no rush. No rush. He doesn't need to be rushed. Ross Chastain has been doing actually pretty decent in that 6 car. It's been nice to see him in a good ride in the Cup Series. So, I mean, a great opportunity for him. He's definitely, I wouldn't say outperformed Ryan Newman. I think he's done very similar to Ryan Newman, but he seems to have outperformed Chris Buescher so far, which is somebody I thought would do a lot better. But he's also been doing better than Ricky Stenhouse, so did in that 17. So there's that. But yeah, Ryan Newman, nice seeing him doing well. But that is all I got for today. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment down below your guys' thoughts. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.